So you want from the crown of your head to your tailbone to be a straight line. So you're not dipping down, sagging your hips, or sticking your butt straight up in the air, but you're as if like somebody's balancing like a tray on your back. So pressing away through all four corners of your hands and strong toes. And so here, you're going to shift your weight back and forth a couple times. And then inhale, raise one foot just a couple inches off the ground. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower down. And then you're going to come back into downward facing dog. So raise your hips, press out through your hands. Don't sink your shoulders in, but rather activate them. And then you're going to raise your right leg up to the sky, keeping your hips square. And then on the exhale, you're going to bring your knee into your elbow. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. And then inhale, extend. And then on this exhale, you're going to bring your foot in between your hands. So drop your back knee down and come up into a runner's lunge. So from here, we're going to do a little sequence just to warm up the hamstrings. On the inhale, you're going to lean forward, and on the exhale, you're going to rock back like this. Inhale forward, exhale back. And you want to keep your hips square so you're not like all over the place. So forward, exhale back, inhale forward, and then this one, you're going to come up and then bend that back leg, reach for your foot, and then press it gently towards your butt cheek, and then take a breath here, inhale, exhale, release. And now we're going to do the other side. So inhale, raise that knee, lift your back foot up, and the downward facing dog, and then lower it down. And on the other side. So inhale that left foot up. Exhale, bring that knee to the elbow. Exhale, extend. Exhale, forward. Inhale, extend. One more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, extend. And then we're going to plant that foot in your hands. And drop that back knee. And come up. So the same sequence. So inhale forward, press hips forward. Exhale back, lengthening that hamstring. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, and then you're going to raise that back foot and grab the foot. Keep your hand and press it gently. Really stretching out the front of your hip, your quad. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release. And then lower your hands, plant them on either side of your foot. Raise that back knee, and then press back. And you're down facing dog. From here, we're going to lower down onto our knees. You want your hips to be a little bit wider than hips distance, but your toes are touching, like so your big toes are touching. And we're going to do a dynamic camel pose. So you're sitting back on your heels. So on the inhale, you're going to, on the inhale, come up onto your knees. So, actually, let me reset that up. Okay. Inhale.
Time. Sorry, usually my timer makes a noise. Tell us what you liked about your turn.
I'm just feeling a lot more comfortable with like being in front of people and just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or at least what I think I should.
And what's something? Do you think you kept to your intention?
I think so.
Can you tell me specific examples?
Yeah. How I kept it or how I didn't.
How you kept it?
Just by like keeping it going and not slowing down like a ton, but just like really focusing on warming up and like warming up your body. That makes sense.
What was your intention?
Just like letting go and flowing. So that requires like loosening up
Oh, okay.
a lot. So yeah.
I wrote down that it was more strength cues.
Oh, right. Now that I'm thinking back, I don't know if I did very many strength cues, but yeah, so maybe still work on that.
Okay. And then someone who was watching, what did you notice that she should keep in her teaching practice, and what's something you notice she should take out? Yes.
I love the flow. Kind of wish I was doing it, but I was saving my energy. But I like the flow. I like that it definitely looks like it works pretty well, but it has like has stretching involved, but you're still being active. Like it has the stretching of the hamstrings and the quad. And I just said it, but the big feet forward is you said on a lot. So maybe you take out the other words, which is my struggle as well. So.
Cool. Bless you. Will you turn the music down again?
Yeah.
All right. I thought that the nice job, by the way. I agree that you seem more confident today. And I thought it flowed well. I heard breath with movement quite a bit. I also heard the fillers. There was and then at the beginning it was we're gonnas. My start for you is on the dynamic movements, because you had a lot of them. Make sure you remember the general rule of inhale on the lengthening part of the dynamic and exhale on the strengthening part. Because I think when you were in the down dog crunches, it was inhale with the knee to the elbow.
Maybe it was, but that wasn't what
That's not what you intended?
Yeah, I don't
I thought.
And I could have just tuned in like right when you said it,
Okay.
one time the other way.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it was like that the entire time.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I write things, and when I'm writing, I'm not listening as much in that moment. So it's a challenge for me to get it all down and hear everything as well.
So wait, what I thought whenever you because you're compressing everything.
That's what I said. Yeah, knee to elbow in that position would be an exhale.
Okay.
But I heard inhale when the knee was coming forward.
Oh, okay. Well,
It may have just been unintentional. But
I think she switched her inhales and exhales when she was doing knee from three-legged dog.
Okay.
Yeah, because at one point you corrected yourself, but then you went with it. Sorry.
We got to keep going, because 7 minutes a piece and 13 people is already 90 minutes, 91 minutes if you do math. I don't do math. I had to do a calculation to get that. So keep me on track. Keep the feed forward short. And Miss Jess is up next.
Hi, my name is Jess. My intention for today is to give some love to your body by setting it on fire. Something I want to work on this time is more strengthening cues. So if you want, you can meet me at the front of your mat, standing. Root through all four corners of your feet. Engage your legs so they're nice and strong. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms up. And on your exhale, go ahead and meet me in a forward fold. Inhale, you're going to meet me in chair position. So sweeping your arms up. Keep that navel tucked in. Your ribs should be tucked down towards your navel. Everything should feel strong here. Keeping those strong legs. We had mountain pose. Breathe through for 3 breaths. If you want, you can bring your hands tight center. Next exhale, go back to forward fold. Inhale, back up to chair. Keep that tailbone tucked. I know it's easy to get your booty popped up. Keep it tucked. 3 more breaths here. You can use the unagi breath if you'd like, in and out through your nose to help build heat. And on your next exhale, you're going to forward fold, but what you're also going to do is plant your hands on the mat and step back into plank. 3 is going to be the magic number, so 3 more breaths here. Engage your core, keep that navel tucked. Your shoulders should be stacked over your hands. And after your 3 breaths, on your next exhale, chaturanga down and stay down. So now I want you to keep those strong legs, squeeze your heels together, point your toes, and try to lift your legs off the floor. We're going to be working on our back, so to engage your back, you can also lift your chest up, move forward towards the front of the room. Try to hold here for 3 breaths. Drop it back down. And back up, 3 more breaths. Squeezing those legs, keep your chest open towards the front of the room. Great job. Plant those hands and push up into a high plank. Gonna hold here for 3 more breaths. Remember to keep your navel engaged, tips of your shoulders. Shoulders over hands, my bad. And then on your next exhale, go back into down dog. Breathe for a moment. Inhale, gaze to the front of your mat, and step your right foot up in between your hands. And inhale, come up into warrior 2. Keeping those strong legs, you want your hips open and facing the wall. You want to keep your back foot parallel to this wall. This one right here with the mirrors. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step your right leg back. And go back into down dog. And in this down dog, really press with your hands. Engage your shoulders, keep them away from your ears. You can pedal it out if you like, that feels nice. Inhale, lift the top of your mat. Step your left foot through this time. And inhale, cartwheel up to warrior 2 again. Hips facing that outer wall. Front foot facing forward, back foot parallel to the wall. Squeeze your legs together if it feels unstable for you. Or bring your feet closer together. Doesn't have to be perfect. Your breaths here. Really squeezing those legs. And exhale, cartwheel down. Back into plank. Big inhale. Exhale, down dog. Okay, so now inhale, lift through the front of your mat, and go ahead and step your feet through your hands to meet you in a seated position, if that makes sense. Not sure how to keep that one. All right, put your heels on the floor. And we're gonna roll back using our abs. So slowly roll. You can keep your hands under your knees if you like, if that makes it easier. Usually does. Bring the lower back at the floor, middle back, final back. And we're gonna roll back up this time. But this time we're gonna try to get our legs up off the floor as well. So shoulders come up first, chin tucked, middle back. You grab the back of your legs. If you're still cold, I don't know how you would be. You can pulse your arms. 3 breaths here. Keeping that navel tucked. Plant your feet on the floor and slowly roll back down, just to make your stomach burn a little more. All right, now I'd like you to bring your heels closer to your butt, so we can begin a bridge. Palms on the floor. And as you press up into your bridge, your hips lift off the floor and keep all the weight on your shoulders. So no weight should be on your neck. And you can pulse here for more heat, or you can hold for just 3 breaths that we've been doing. Strong legs. Push through your hands and your feet. Feel the tops of your legs resisting. And drop it back down. Let's go back up one more time. If you didn't pulse last time, try to push yourself and pulse this time. Doesn't have to be fast. But you should feel your thighs working, top and bottom, resisting and engaging.
Time.
Exhale and meet me back in a seated position.
What did you like about your turn, Jess?
I liked that I remembered all of my the students I went through because I had changed it a couple times. So I like that I remembered it.
What helped you remember it?
What helps me remember it? Just like speed writing it or like bullet points usually. So yeah, that's what I liked.
Okay. And then something you wanted to do but maybe didn't get to,
Exactly, yeah.
for next
I
time?
thought I didn't do enough strengthening cues even though it was my intention to. Maybe more breathing cues as well. Oh no, I've had a lot of those.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say more strengthening cues.
Okay. And then someone who who hasn't given feed forward yet, a good thing that you liked, and then a thing to add in for next time.
I really liked your flow. It was enjoyable. You seemed very calm and you knew where you're going and it didn't seem stuttered. I heard foundational cues, but that's also my other point. I feel like there were times where you would have them hold the chair pose where you could have thrown in a few more words, but you're doing it with them, so I could see where you got a little winded. But that would have been a perfect pointer for those strengthening cues that you felt that you wanted to fill in the gap, I guess.
I wanted some for arms, but I don't. Like, how do you? Like, I wanted to go into cactus, but I forgot because I couldn't think of like the strength cue to make it like I guess just strong.
Okay. I heard I liked the theme of the threes because it gave like an expectation about how long they were going to be there and how many to do. I heard alignment cues. I heard I called it breath expectations, that you were going to hold for 3 breaths. And I heard strength cues, but I have some change and some start for them to make them better. My I crossed out stop and called it a change. I want to hear something different instead of navel tucked.
Yeah.
I want to hear engage all of the core muscles. I mean, the core is not just the navel. I know we say it a lot in yoga, and I have some tips for you as a person to engage your own core, how it's more effective. I'll talk about that later. And then I heard squeeze those legs, which is a strength cue. I just want to like know more, like
Specifics.
Yeah, what part of my leg should I be squeezing?
Well,
And how do I make it squeeze if I'm not very body conscious? Like sometimes in a standing pose, you'll hear people say, lift your kneecaps. That's a quad engagement typically.
I was practicing on someone with the sun salutation, and I said lift your kneecaps, and they looked at me like I was ridiculous. Like they're like, "What are you even saying?"
And that's just one way. There's multiple ways to say it, and sometimes.
Like, could you say multiple without seeming redundant? Like.
No, you have to say everything a million different ways in a yoga class is what we're going to learn in the next 8 weekends. Yeah. Because you'll say it at one person, and then they'll be like, huh? And then you'll say it at another person, they're like, oh, yeah, I know that already. So you have to use different language for different ears. Nice work. And I think you said something, you named the breath, but maybe you named it wrong.
Unagi, is it not unagi?
It's ujjayi.
Ujjayi? Unagi is sushi.
I was like,
I have it a lot. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
like, I haven't heard of this breath before.
Unagi. I think that's from Friends too, doesn't? Or us have unagi.
Yes. I thought you were just talking about a different form of breath.
Hopefully,
I was
some
like,
people
she
thought I
does
was
something
joking.
else.
You know.
Okay, Issa, tell us the things.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Issa, and my intention for today is using using different words for strengthening cues, foundation cues, not saying the same thing over again.
There's the
and-
timer sound.
Oh,
Found
and
it.
my theme is journey, because we're all going on some sort of journey. All right, so if you could meet me in child's pose, where you're sitting back, your butt's on your heels, your big toes are touching, your knees are a little bit spread apart, maybe to the edge of your mat, maybe not, whatever's comfortable for you. Arms down, stretching forward, chest, reaching the floor if it can. If not, no big deal, we're gonna get there. And we're gonna take 3 breaths in. All right, so inhale, exhale, inhale all the positive energy, exhale all the negative things. One more time, inhale, exhale, and on this exhale, you're going to send your hips up into tabletop. You're going to plant or root through your hands, fingers spread wide, shoulders stacked over, what are those called? Wrists and hips over knees. We're going to start with a neutral spine, but we're going to do some cat-cows. So for your inhale, you are going to arch your back and lift your crown of your head up. And exhale, you're going to round through your back, keeping that navel tucked and staying strong in your core and through your legs. Inhale, arch your back, head up. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, last time. All right, and then from here we're gonna go tuck the tailbone back into more of a neutral spine. Staying strong within those arms and legs, we're going to put more of our weight on our left hand and our right knee. We're going to lift our right arm, stretching to the back of the room, and we're gonna kick through our back left leg as if we're putting the footprint on the back of the wall. On our exhale, we're going to bring our elbow to our knee for a crunch. And inhale, you're going to lengthen. Exhale, you're going to crunch. Remember to keep that core engaged. That is where we're working on. Exhale, extend. One more time. Or exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Beautiful. All right, plant your hand and flat your knee. One more time. Switch the weight over to the opposing limbs. And on your inhale, you're going to extend, kicking that foot back, keeping that foot engaged. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen and reach. And exhale, crunch. And one more time. Inhale all the way, high five the wall, kick the back wall. Exhale, crunch. All right. Plant the hands and the feet one more time. Now we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, send them back into downward dog, making sure our hips are squared and our shoulders are squared off for good form. And we are going to breathe here for 2 breaths. Last one. And we're going to take our right leg, we're going to send that back into the air for 3-legged dog. Woo, it's a good one. All right, send your eye gaze between your hands, and you're going to put that knee, tuck it all the way to your chest, staying strong in your legs, squeezing your glutes, and kick it back, 3-legged dog. And we're going to crunch it forward and actually plant that foot between your hands. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, push through your quad, arms in the air to warrior 1. Have your back foot slightly angled to the left corner of your mat, making sure your knee is stacked upon your ankle in a 90-degree. Wonderful. All right, here we're going to, exhale, sending one of the arms back, pivoting the foot so it is parallel to the back of your mat into warrior 2. Breathe here, stay strong in those legs, squeeze the inner thighs together if you're feeling unstable, rooted in the feet. And here we're going to inhale to reverse warrior, reaching over, getting that really deep side stretch, reaching towards the back of the wall. You can rest your hand on the back of your knee if it's a little uncomfortable or hard. All right, and exhale into, I can't remember what this one's called.
Side angle.
Side angle, yes, perfect. All right, take a breath here. All right, and then inhale, back to warrior 2. You're gonna pivot the foot back to warrior 1. Keep your knee bent at that 90-degree angle, put your arms forward once again, and plant the hands. Kick the foot back all the way into three-legged dog, and then let it float down gently. All right, left side, we're gonna kick that foot back up, squeeze the leg, squeeze the glute, and exhale into a crunch, knee to nose or knee to chest. Exhale, kick that foot back, send your eye gaze between your hands, pop that foot in between your hands. All right, on your inhale, be strong in that leg, make sure your knees tucked over ankles, arms above head, warrior 1, having that back foot slightly pivoted to the right. All right, and inhale, 2, parallel your back foot to the wall, warrior 2, arms straight, tightening between those inner thighs, staying strong in your legs and your core, making sure you tuck your pelvis into the right position. Perfect. We're going to inhale into reverse warrior. Ooh, getting that stretch, and exhale into, I forgot what it's called again, side 1. Yes. Perfect. All right, breathe here. Very nice inhale, go back to warrior 1. Nice. All right. And plant your hands on the other sides of your feet, kick your foot back, and lift your hips into downward dog. Ooh, pull out those feet as we work it. All right, now you're going to look between, or put your eye gaze between your hands, step, walk, hop, jump, oh god. Jump, whatever, you're going forward. Now we're in a forward fold. All right, take a breath here. Let your body relax a little bit because we've been doing some work. Take 2 deep breaths. All right, and so from here we're going to halfway lift. Inhale, exhale.
There's the noise.
Woo!
What did you like about your turn?
Though I am nervous, I am less nervous than I thought I would be, and I am hot. So like I feel like it was effective. Yes, it did its job. And I said more strengthening cues like I wanted to.
Okay. And then what's something that you wanted to do, but something else maybe?
Oh, I really need
or
to
noticed
practice.
About your turn?
I would need to practice on it. Like I wrote it down last time, but it's that pick up the pace. I don't know if I was going too fast or too slow or whatever, but I feel like I need to pick up the pace just slightly, just to get it more of a flow and less of a like, I'm nervous feeling.
Okay.
Actually, I feel like the pace it could have been slowed down a little bit actually. In between your warrior 1 and 2, it was good.
So finish the feed forward then. Did you give her something that you liked?
Yeah, you were vibing, like you were happy. You know what I mean? Even though you were nervous, you had a good positivity up there in front of everyone. And would you say something positive or say something negative?
Well, you already gave her feed forward
feed forward.
to slow down.
Yeah.
So
You were happy. That was good.
So I heard alignment cues, foundation cues, breath with movement cues. I heard plenty of strength cues. Your stop is a filler. We're going to or we're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find yourself saying, put an action word there or a body part instead.
All right.
Put your verb. Saying the verb first will lead you into the cue, or if not, the body part that you want to move. And then my start was also slow down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seemed just rushed and like get all the poses in.
Oh, really?
Just like cue.
Because it's Easter, she's so high energy.
Okay.
Well, she can bring in her positivity and
More breaths.
yeah, just a little silent space in between some cues would be good. But it's good. And And Courtney, CJ is up next. So Courtney, CJ, tell me the things.
My name is CJ. I am working on, my intention is to not use filler words. And still working on my theme. I have the idea and just figuring out the word is the struggle. But if you're practicing with me today, we're going to start on all fours. Your elbows stay in your wrists and your shoulders. You stack on each other. Your fingers spread out wide. Your knees under your hips, shoulder hip width distance apart. You're going to kick your right foot back, flexing left foot as if you're standing on the back wall. Pinky toe pointing down, this will help you keep your hips aligned. Reach your left hand forward, left arm parallel to the ground, strong arm. And on an inhale, you're gonna curl your spine, bringing your elbow to your knee. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Knee back in all fours. Opposite foot, so kick your left foot back. Flexing your foot, quarters engaged. Pinky toe pointing down again. And then reach your right hand forward. Arm parallel to the ground, strong arm. Shoulders down to back. And on an exhale, you're going to bring your elbow to your knee, reaching your spine, curl your spine. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, crunch. Be back in all fours. Next, we're going into plank pose. So step your foot, your right foot back, then your left. Feet hip width distance apart. Crown of your hip pulling forward. Straight spine. If you need to, you can go down on your knees. Your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are still stacked. If you're on your knees, try to push your ankles against each other so you're still engaged. You're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears. On your next exhale, going to downward facing dog. Here, your hips are to the sky. Your stomach is pressed towards your thighs. Your knees can be bent. Walk it out if you need to. On your next inhale, look forward. Step your feet in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold, feet hip width distance apart. Weight should be in the front of your feet. Little bend in your knee if you need to. Stomach against your thighs. Inhale, we're going to roll up. Reaching our hands to the sky. Gaze in between your hands for upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart position. We're going into chair pose. So bend at the knees. Make sure your tailbone's tucked and your core is engaged. Shoulders are down and back. Pressing against your hands together. Staying here for 4 breaths. Try to go lower if you can. Staying here, we are going to add some calf raises. So first, raise your right heel off the ground onto your right toes. Exhale, and down. Inhale, raise your left. Exhale, down. Inhale, raise your right. Exhale, and down. Inhale, left. Exhale, down. Last one on each. Inhale, up on right. Exhale, down. Inhale, on your left. Exhale, down. A forward fold. Weight is in front of your legs and in front of your feet. You can walk out your knees a little if you need to. Next, going to roll back up to upward salute. Reaching high. Exhale, her hands. Step your right foot back. Knee on the ground. Modified crescent, you can either curl your toes or you can have them planted on the ground, whichever one works. Your front knee needs to be right over your ankle, your front ankle, your hips pulling forward, your chest is up. Raise your hands up, shoulders are down and back. On your exhale, you're going to push your hips back, straighten your front leg, flex your front foot, keeping your arms in line with where your spine is pointing. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, modified crescent. Place your hands on your top thigh. Curl your back toes if you don't have them already. Step up and face the right of the room. Have your toes pointing out if your hips allow it. And you should be in a wide-legged stance. Elbows and knees up, chest stays up. Going into a squat. Hands in the upper position. Shoulders are down and back. Staying here for 3 breaths. And inhale, you're going to shoot up, reaching your hands to the sky. Start feeling the energy from your heels all the way to your fingers. Exhale, back to scooter squat. Inhale, start. Exhale, squat. Inhale, start. Exhale, squat. Inhale, start. Point your toes to the front of the room. Bring your right foot to meet your left. Now, other side, left foot back. Knee on the ground. Hips pulling forward. Your knee.
What did you like about your turn, CJ?
I remembered it.
How did you remember? What made you remember it?
I have been using my coworkers as workout dummies.
Cool. What would you do differently or add in for next time?
I still need to work on filler words because I caught myself every time while it was coming out of my mouth.
What was it this time?
Caught myself with the ums. But then it still happened, so I couldn't catch it beforehand.
Someone give her feedback, something that you noticed that was productive, and then something that could be taken out or changed.
I love the star spot thing. It's so creative. I love it so much, and it's very dynamic, and it's not horribly intense. And then the feed forward, I said this to Jane when we were practicing, and maybe just because I have really bad knees, but I find that the modified, even though it's a modified crescent, and then the reverse of it, I find that really hard to do. Even as, allegedly, if we're all advanced yogis, as an advanced yogi, I find that
The step back.
The half split?
Yeah, I just find that, and I found it hard for a while, so maybe it's just me. So maybe that's not good for because it's too personal.
No, it is because I definitely put in my notes that I wanted to tell people that if it hurts your knees, that you can actually roll your mat, the back of the mat, so it feels better. But it didn't mention that. So yes, that's good.
I heard cues for alignment and foundation, breath with movement. I like the modified crescent, but yeah, slide in that if it hurts your knees, do something about it. Use a jacket or a blanket or something. I heard some breath expectations. And I just said, I have a stop. My filler that I caught from you was if you need to. And the reason, I think the intention you wanted was for them to modify a pose. But sometimes it makes students feel like a failure if you say, if you need to, because they don't know why they would need to. So my stop is take that out and replace it with explain why they would want to bend their knees in a straight-legged pose or something. Because maybe they have tight hamstrings or it hurts them. And I did it again. Stop umming, Jenny. My start is varying. At the beginning, we're doing spine balance crunches, and you were saying inhale, stretch out, exhale, crunch. And you did that all 3 times or 4 times, both sides. So vary those up. If you have to write yourself a little script to be inhale, lengthen, reach forward and back, exhale, bring your elbow to knee. And the next one is inhale, arch your spine, exhale, round your spine. And the next one is inhale, really push down into the points that are on the floor to stabilize, and exhale, pull your navel up to the back of your spine or something. Like, make it interesting so they really want to keep listening to everything you say. But I liked it. It's good.
I just spent 12 minutes looking for my phone. So there's a
Hello, I'm Tammy. My intention is to make sure that I am adding strengthening cues and cues that are centered with hips and shoulders, making sure that we are engaged and that and I am mentioning those to keep those in alignment. My theme is to continue with last week's theme, and that is to be just forgot. But essentially rolling with a resistance, working through resistance and strengthening. So we're going to start on our knees. If you can get on your knees on tabletop, we're going to plant both palms down. Make sure that your knees are aligned behind your elbows. Your shoulders are stacked above your wrists. We're going to make sure also that we're pushing our tibia, the bone on the floor at the bottom of the leg, push down against that mat. As we engage our spine by pulling in our belly button, bringing it in. Just an inhale here into a semi-cat pose. We're not going all the way up. We're not going all the way down into that cow pose. And exhale. You're going to inhale right here, dipping in that back. Exhale, bring it up. Now we're going to go a little deeper in that pose. Inhale, feel the crown, that's the head up. Exhale, bring it in. And now we're going to bring it back to our heels. Bring your glutes back to your heels, and we're going to do some deep breathing. Bring the arms up. Inhale. And exhale into a cactus, making it nice and strong. Feel those shoulder blades press up against each other. Inhale. Again, with the cactus, bringing those elbows down against the sides of the body, feeling the ribs wrapped up. One more time, inhale, palms are together. And on that exhale, we're gonna bring our hands back down in front of us. Palms are down, shoulders again engaged and above that wrist. The bones of the front of that leg is down. Going into bringing those toes up now. Just to bring it back, stretching it, rolling forward, but not too much forward that you are above or so far beyond your fingertips. Feeling that stretch in the wrist, feeling the stretch in the glutes, in the lengthening in that spine, feeling the stretch in the back of those toes and the feet. Back to tabletop. Right here, we're going to abduct away from the spine, so you can bring your heel or the front of the feet down. We're going to warm up the large muscle groups. Bring the leg out and slightly bend, 90-degree angle, bringing it back down. Really concentrating on making sure that you're still stacked, shoulders above the wrists, that your hips are still, as you're rotating those hips outward, you are still keeping those hips straight, facing forward. One more time, bring that leg up. No higher than the hip, bring it back down. And you're going to the other side. Bring that leg out, 90-degree angle, keeping that other leg right behind that knee. Feel that squeeze as you abduct away from the body. Remember, you're breathing. Inhale. And exhale one more time, no higher than 90 degrees, feeling that stretch. and those muscles warming up. Bring that knee all the way down. Bring your toes down, bringing your glutes up into a downward dog position. You are here. Remember, you're at a 90-degree angle, but your fingertips are facing forward. Trying to push those heels up against that mat, feeling all four corners of the hands. You're going to bring your heel down and rotate that up. Pressing down, alternating those heels, feeling the stretch, waking up those muscles in the calf. Breathing, inhale, abs are tight, making sure that you're pulling that navel through the spine. At this position, bring your right leg up. Make sure that you are in turn, making sure those hips are square. Bring that knee in as you crunch. Inhale out, pressing that heel back, feeling that heel press up against the wall, or imagining that heel pressing up against the wall. Cross inside the body with that crunch, knee to the other elbow. Push out again. You've got one more of these. Remember to do it with breathing. You are exhaling here, bring it in. Inhale. Bring that leg out. This is away from the body. We're going to bring it in, keeping that knee at 90. 2 more times here. Feel that glute squeeze, making sure we're warming up all those major muscle groups. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Leg is up, pressing that heel up. Square those hips. Head is down. Bring that leg back down. Breathing. Bring it back down to tabletop. Feet are pressed down. We're going to go to the other side, but before we do, we want to make sure that we rest for one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring it back up to tabletop. Really engage that core, making sure that your hips is in neutral position. Bring that back to downward dog. Lifting that left leg up, flex that foot. Feel that glute engage. Bring that knee in directly inside as you crunch. If that's your exhale, push it back out. And exhale. You're going to cross the body. Make sure that you are pushing those heels away from the body, flexing that foot nice and strong. Feel that strong body. One more time.
Time.
And bring it down.
What did you like, Tammy?
I like that I pretend that that was not me.
What?
I pretended that that wasn't really me doing it, and so it was kind of like I disassociated, just so I wasn't so nervous, and so I felt good about that.
It felt okay to do that?
Yeah,
It made it easier?
because then I wasn't in my head. You know, I was able to really focus and try to focus on, okay, this is a warm up.
So who were you?
Who was I?
Tammy.
I was Tammy the instructor.
Okay.
Tammy the instructor. And
What's something that you would like to do for next time?
remember what I was here to do, a warm up. I was like, wait, this is a warm up.
What do you mean by that?
My whole focus prior to coming up here was warm up the large muscle groups. Just start right in with the large muscle groups. Actually, and I didn't write anything down, and I wanted to start with some deep breaths and then do the cactus and then get to the tabletop. But then it was like I saw so many people on their knees. That's all I could think of was, okay, we're on our knees. And so next time, just to continue with my own focus.
Bring it in a little bit. Someone have feedback, a positive, and then a thing to do for going forward. If you haven't gone yet.
I'll go.
Tammy, your presence on the math teaching, it's like a whole new. I mean, I can even tell you were nervous. So it was very good. Your instruction was very clear. Moving forward, I don't know. I think sometimes you use some of the words and you repeat them a few times. So, but your cues and everything were so good. You also did a lot of variation, but you repeated big muscle groups a few times. That's something I heard. So, I think you did a great job. It was awesome.
I heard plenty of alignment cues, strength cues, breath with movement cues, cues. Lots of cues from yous. So you're good on cues.
Okay.
For your stop, I want you to personalize the body parts. What I'm hearing is that leg, those glutes. And after a lot of that, it starts to sound boot campy and less yogi.
Okay.
So what do you use instead of that or those?
Your.
Okay.
And that'll help you with your start, which is to be more conversational. So less of the Q, which you have down.
Okay.
I think I know what you want to say as far as alignment. I just want to hear who Tammy is. And that's why I was asking about who was up there if it wasn't Tammy, because we want you to be yourself.
Yeah.
In yoga, you get to be you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be anybody else. Just be Tammy. And we're going to mess up as Tammy, and we're going to succeed as Tammy. Cool? Thank you. I thought it was a lot more relaxed than last weekend. Yeah. You're still really focused on those cues, but
Yeah.
It's like, you'll relax over time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yesy,
Yo.
tell us things that you want to accomplish
Good
and who you are.
afternoon, ladies. My name is Jesse, and I will be your yoga instructor for the next 7-minute warm-up. My intention is to have better cues, and the theme is hot like lava. Everybody get to the front of their mats, please. We're going to start in Tadasana. Please keep our toes a little bit together, heels a little bit apart, spread the toes up, lengthen them so that way we have a good grasp on the ground. Let's go ahead and strengthen our legs, engage the thighs, engage the core, lift the chest, bring the shoulders back. And we're going to start with 3 breaths. So let's focus. Breathe in completely and out all the bad energy of the day. Another one in, bring the arms up. Close the mouth, breathe out the nose. Hands to heart center, and one more in. And we're going to go into chair pose as we exhale. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. Make sure that our knees are not over our toes, our back is straight, our crown is lifted, our thighs engaged. One more breath. Exhale all the way up, straighten the knees, and inhale back into chair. And we're going to twist over to our right hand side, bring our left elbow over to our right knee. Make sure that we keep our thighs engaged. We can have our gaze over our right shoulder. 2 more breaths. Back to center and raise all the way up. Inhale. Exhale back down, chair, and over to our left side. Right elbow to our left knee. Gaze over our left shoulder. Make sure that our weight is into the front of our toes. Big breath in. One more breath, let's straighten up. All the way up, hands touching, and we're going to do a forward fold all the way down. Plant our hands. Exhale halfway. Inhale, plant. Let's send the feet back. And let's get our first down dog. We can go ahead and walk out the feet a little bit. 2 more breaths here. Make sure that all the weight are in our fingertips and engage the heels so that way we have good strengthening in our legs. And we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath in and lift the right leg. Up and back, make sure that your right hip is engaged forward. And we're going to bring the right knee over to our left tricep. Hold here for a breath. And bring it back to 3-legged dog. Inhale, right tricep. Exhale, all the way up. Inhale, bring that foot through. And let's swing up to our warrior 2. From here, we're going to bring our right hand forward, reverse our warrior, bring it all the way back. And bring it forward for a side angle. Make sure that our gaze is over our left hand above our shoulder, pointing straight up. Now go back into our warrior 2, inhale. And cartwheel our hands back over. Send that right leg all the way back up for our 3-legged dog. And let's bring it back down as we take 2 more breaths. On our next inhale, lift up the left leg. And bring that knee over to our right tricep. Hold for 1 breath. Bring it all the way back up on the inhale. And exhale all the way to our left tricep. And bring it all the way back up. Inhale, drop the foot, and let's go back into our warrior 2. Make sure that our right foot on the back end of that foot is being engaged and most of our weight is into it. Make sure that our left knee is above our left ankle. Go ahead and straighten out your hips. Make sure that your shoulders are lying back. Look forward in front of your left hand, and let's go ahead and reach forward and reverse that warrior. And let's get into our side angle. Make sure we bring our right arm above our shoulder, gaze looking up. Big breath here. And let's go back into our warrior 2. As we go ahead and transition cartwheel back into our down dog. And then we're going to go into plank for 3 breaths. Make sure you engage your shoulders. Weight is in the fingertips. Make sure you push your heels back. Engage your thighs. Zip the belly inwards. Deep breath in. Exhale. And from here, we're going to lift the right leg just slightly. Go forward into a 3-legged chaturanga. Push back up into your plank. Put that leg down. Take a nice deep breath. Lift that left leg up. Push the crown of the head forward. 3-legged chaturanga. All the way back up. Back into plank. Let's go ahead and go back into our down dog. 2 breaths here. Look towards the hands. Step or hop in front. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. And we're going to put the weight into our right foot. Spread the toes wide. And we're going to go ahead and get into our eagle. So our left leg over the right. Squat down. Left arm is going to be over the right as well. Make sure that we lift up our elbows. Engage the core. Engage your right leg and your right glute. 2 breaths here. And release. Unwind. Hands to heart center. Spread the toes of our left foot. Put most of our weight into our left leg. Let's go ahead and squat, put our right leg over. Our right leg is going to go over our left. And that's fine.
What did you like about it today?
I felt confident.
And then what did you not feel confident about?
The timing. I wish that I got it within 7 minutes.
Remember, don't try to rush everything to get it into 7 minutes.
I just don't know the sequencing for each of the timings. So I'm making sure that I can align the amount of breaths with the positions so I can understand how long that's actually going to be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But just reiterating for everybody, 7 minutes is just for the space that we have in class and not necessarily what it'll be in a real world class. It doesn't have to be 7 minutes long. You've already given feed forward? Can you write it down? I might get to it anyway. Who hasn't gone with feed? You've already gone. I thought I remember you giving.
She only went.
I thought I remember you speaking earlier. Okay. I'm just trying to give everybody a chance to do feed forward.
It was really good. I didn't hear any filler words, and like I understood all of your cues and everything. It was really nice. Wait, what was my feed forward was it was more of a problem with the flow. It was just really advanced.
Yeah.
Like really advanced.
That's why it's called lava.
I know, but like
I was trying to do
I
Paula's stuff.
can't do like I'm just saying like even me, like I can't do the 3-leg or the chaturanga. So like maybe offer modifications like, and this is really hard, so maybe drop to your knees or something. But like basically that was it. Like it just maybe like for a warm up you could like tone it down instead of like incorporating like so many poses.
I was expecting that feedback, so I wanted to kill you.
You're tired. You did it.
So I get what you want to do to your students, but you have a whole hour in class. Don't wear them out at the very beginning. I agree with that. But I heard cues for foundation. I heard breath and movement. I heard breath expectations. It did seem like you felt confident and it flowed well. My stop for you is there's a let's do this, let's do that filler.
Yes, ma'am.
So lead with the verb or the body part to get the cue going. Because over many let's, you're using precious seconds that could be used for like productive cueing.
Yes, ma'am. And
your start is the first time around you brought him into Warrior 2, it was just like swing up into it without any like a foundation where the feet are going. But the second side was better. Like you caught yourself, like maybe you left them out on the first side, you realized.
Yeah, for sure.
And also had a little note, offer mods for the 3-leg chata and the plank, because also you have a whole hour. And an eagle's a little advanced for the start of a class because their hips aren't quite warmed up all the way. So maybe that's for sequence 3 or maybe even a peak pose.
Yeah. You got it.
Moving right along, y'all. Nikki?
My stop is to stop reading from the page. I was reading your notes, sorry. And to start practicing more with my visualization. The theme is letting go. If you can start in child's pose, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. I want you to concentrate on keeping your hips lowered, down to your heels, your toes touching. Deep breaths as you inhale, reach forward, and exhale, sink deeper into it. On your inhale, I want you to lift up into tabletop. And on the exhale, you're going to arch your back, dropping your head into cat pose. On the inhale, you're going to arch your back, inhale, lifting your head back into cow. 3 of these. Make sure your palms of your hands are pushing down and the top of your feet are pushed down. Keep strong legs, and on an exhale, you're going to push back your hips into downward dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, down into chaturanga. Inhale, You're gonna push up into tabletop again. Take one breath here, and on an inhale, you're gonna take your right hand and you're gonna sweep up away from your body, opening up your chest. And on the exhale, you're gonna drop down, sweeping in underneath, bending your knee, bending your elbow, aligning it with your wrist. We're gonna do 3 of these. Inhale, reach up, looking up over your arm. Exhale, keep your legs strong. Inhale, engage your shoulders and your arms, and exhale, drop back through. You're gonna exhale back into downward dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, drop into tabletop. This time you're gonna reach up with your right arm into a modified 3-legged dog. I'm sorry, that's your right leg, not your arm. So you're gonna lift with an inhale, push your leg back. Exhale, pull your knee in forward. Exhale, make sure your arms are stable. Shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Exhale, pull it back in. You're gonna do 3 of these. Keep a strong formation and move with your breath. You go back into tabletop. Exhale, push back into downward dog. Inhale, look forward into plank and lower into chaturanga. On inhale, you're gonna pull up to tabletop again. And this time you're gonna do thread the needle with your left. You're gonna inhale, reach up. Exhale, dip down, poking your arm between your right and your knee. Inhale, lift back up, twisting your core and looking over your arm. Exhale, drop back through. Make sure your legs are engaged and you're not pushing too hard on your shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Go straight back to downward dog. Inhale to plank, back into downward dog. And this time you'll do the opposite. So that's, you'll reach back with your left leg for a modified 3-legged dog. And on an inhale, an exhale, you're gonna reach up, tip your nose to your knee. Inhale, reach backwards with your leg. You're gonna do this 3 times. Make sure that your palms are pushing down. You're keeping a straight back and you're engaging your shoulders. Press your foot downward so that it's engaged in a right angle, And on the exhale, you're gonna push back into downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Back to the tabletop. Downward dog. Look forward, inhale, and then exhale, step forward into halfway fold. Inhale to forward fold. Exhale, down to back to forward fold. Keep a strong foundation. And as you inhale, reach with your arms wide. And exhale with mountain cactus 3 times. Inhale, keeping your hips aligned with your ankles. Exhale, really opening up your shoulders and chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. I don't know how much, 7 minutes ago,
Okay.
So we're gonna go backwards.
No, that's good.
Okay, cool, sorry.
No, you do not have to use up all 7 minutes.
Okay,
It's
that's
totally fine. What did you like, Nikki?
The process. I know mine was kind of similar to other people, but I like what you were telling us, pick the hard one and work your way back. So I liked filling in what I thought would work, help open me up for that.
Cool. What's something that you want to do for next time?
Practice. I didn't have anybody to practice verbally other than, I'm sorry, I forgot my new partner's name.
McKay.
Okay, sorry. So, more practice with verbal with other people.
Okay. Make sure that you do get someone to practice with during the week, even if it's an imaginary person that you're teaching.
Okay.
Because the 2 o'clock hour, I typically let y'all practice with a partner for that hour. But not every teacher will. Sometimes there will be subject matter that we have to cover, and there's not a whole lot of practice time. So make sure you find somebody to practice with. But feed forward from someone who hasn't gone yet.
I really like that I felt like I knew where you were going before you said it. You know what I mean? Like when, like before you even said it, like I was already in down just because it made sense. I think your flow like made sense. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Something to do for next time, which will probably just come when you practice, is know where you're going next. There are parts where I felt like you didn't know, so you had to.
Oh yeah, I totally messed up. Like,
But because the flow compensated for that, like you know what I mean, like you still like kind of know where you were going. Yeah. Also, I like this needle thing. Didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, probably just struggle with that.
Okay. I heard alignment, strength, breath with movement, foundation. I caught you watching. That's not a bad thing. Caught you watching them and looking around every now and then for clues of how you were doing. That's good.
What's the cue? I guess it helps because I know what I struggle with.
Right. Can I finish?
Sorry.
I'm giving you a compliment.
Yeah,
Take it. Looking around is always going to help you as a teacher. Like when you get so involved in how you do the pose, you lose your connection to the room. So you're already doing that. Stop apologizing. Just correct whatever you think you messed up on and go on. Go forward. Because apologizing just draws more attention to the whatever you thought was wrong, and it might not have even, they didn't even know that you made a mistake because you're the one who wrote the sequence. I haven't written a start, but Jess that gave you a good one? Kind of, maybe she meant memorize a little bit so you know where you're going. Maybe just memorize bullet points, something short, and then in the moment you'll think of how to get from one to the other. And it'll make it feel more natural. Yeah. Was there something else you were going to say?
No.
Okay. Right. Okay. Nice work. Lots of improvement, everybody, from weekend 1 to weekend 2. Oh, there you are.
Hi everyone, my name is Donna, and my intention today is to work on my cues a little bit more. The theme of my class is acceptance. So let's start in child's pose. Take the back of your mat. Bring your feet down to your heels and stretch your fingertips forward. In front of the room, forehead is down. Take a couple breaths in. Just start to quiet your mind and think about what practice you're about to engage yourself into. On your next inhale, go ahead and engage your arms some and start walking them over to the left side of the mat. Try to keep your glutes onto your heels. Take another breath in and exhale. And walk your hands back to the center and then over to the right. And engage those arms. So lift them up off the mat, pressing into your palms a little bit. Breathing in, Start running up the body with your breath. Come back to center and plant your hands and raise up into a tabletop position, or all fours is what I like to call this. Your gaze is down in between, a little bit above where your hands are. So we're gonna do some cat and cow stretches. So dip your, or arch your back and take your gaze up towards the ceiling on your inhale. And on your exhale, round your back and pull your belly button up to your spine. Really take a deep exhale here, and then inhale, look forward, take your gaze back up to the top of the ceiling. And then inhale, stretch that back up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, you're gonna look forward and you're gonna turn your gaze to the back, left side of your body. And then one more, arch your back. Exhale, inhale, turn your head to the right side of your body. And then inhale, one more, exhale. And then exhale. Take my Pilates class, we do the breath backwards on half and half. It's a little different. So next we're going to take our left hand forward, and then we're going to take our right foot back, planting your foot on the wall behind you, stretching through those fingertips. I'm going to hold here for one inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, you can take your hand and your foot at the same time and touch the floor, and then exhale, bring it back up. If that's too challenging, you can just do one arm or one more. Inhale, down, and exhale. Bring that back in for tabletop, and let's go to the other side. So right hand forward, make sure you stabilize through your hand that is on the mat and your knee. Inhale, tap the floor. Exhale, bring that back up. Try to keep your hips aligned while you're doing this. Inhale, tap the floor. Exhale, back up. We've got one more. Inhale, tap the floor. And exhale. Bring your arms back down into your tabletop and curl your toes and push your hips up towards the ceiling and come into your down dog. On your inhale, you're going to take your right leg up, and we're going to make circles from the hip going. Let's go to the go to your right first, and then reverse. And then we're going to bend that knee, and we're going to bring it into the center. On your exhale, you're going to try to kiss your knee. And then inhale, bring it back up into three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring it over to your right tricep. And then inhale, bring it back up. Then exhale, bring it over to the opposite side. And then inhale, bring it back up and drop it back down. Good. Go ahead and go to your knees and back into a child's pose to reset. I'm doing this because we've done a lot of this today. Might be a little tired. Go ahead and come back up to your tabletop and go into your downward dog. Lift up that left leg to three-legged dog and circle. 3 circles and reverse those circles. On your inhale, bring your knee into your chest. Kiss it. Bring it back up. It's actually an exhale, I'm sorry. Inhale, bring it over to your right tricep, crossover. I have my inhales and exhales backwards on it. And then exhale, bring it over to your left tricep, bring it back up towards the ceiling, and then bring it down for downward dog. On your inhale, look forward, step up to the top of your mat, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come down. Bring your hands into a ragdoll position where you're crossing your elbows and you're just hanging. Ground through your feet. And squeeze your thighs together.
Take another inhale, and then exhale all the air out. Your next inhale, rise to the top, bring your arms up and down into prayer position. Take a breath in, and exhale. Inhale one more time, come up. We're going to go into our chair pose. You can bring your hands to heart center. Makes it a little less challenging. Look down at your feet and make sure you can see your toes. Alright. We're going to do some calf raises in our chair pose. So you can go one leg at a time. Right leg, then left leg. So strong calf and great legs. Then your left. One more to each side. And forward.
Good time.
Pilates is totally backwards.
I wondered.
So, because just all of that. That's why, and if I don't pay attention to it, then I revert into, and we also breathe out through our mouth. So it's really challenging because I'm so used to teaching.
Yeah, different modalities, different.
So I know that's something I need to work on.
What did you like?
I always want to say I just like teaching. And that wasn't my one thing I want to work on. Well, I like teaching. I like leading people through a sequence. I'm gonna like it better when I feel like I have to do it with them, so I can see what's going on. Sometimes I don't think what I'm saying. I understand where I'm going, and I don't know if that's connecting back.
Yeah.
So
Good. That's a good thing to notice.
So that's what I have.
So what did somebody else notice? Good, and maybe change or stop for next time. Okay.
You are an excellent teacher. I think that it was very engaging and easy to follow. You did great on cues. And so, yes, you seem very confident up there. What do you call it? Feed forward?
Mm-hmm.
Feed forward.
Something to do for next time to improve. Usually we say the STEM sentences, Donnell, in the future, one thing you could do to improve your teaching would be, and then fill in the blank.
Maybe put a few more cues in there. I think the pose, where it was going, but moving in deeper to that pose. I'll learn to break out.
Thank you. Reciprocal switch.
Yeah.
So I heard breath with movement. It flowed well. I could see that you like being up there and like being in there with them doing it, which is good. You seem like a supportive teacher because you like to be in there with them. I heard some fillers like we're going to go ahead and that I'd like to see go away.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
I want to hear, like McKay said, more cues. So first I wrote get deeper into the pose, but I meant so just say know more about the pose, like alignment, foundation, how to strengthen the pose. But I also agree with her. It was engaging. You were easy to follow, and you seem confident because you're already a teacher of something else. It's just learning this thing to teach.
Yeah, and in Pilates we don't cue. There's not very many cues.
It's just like pose name.
Because we do the same 34 exercises.
I see. Okay.
Interesting.
But it's a very strong practice, so I'm interested to know.
We actually did
hear some
Pilates
strength cues.
in the Vinyasa flow today. She actually did Pilates in the class.
Cool.
She even named the Pilates pose.
Which one?
It was interesting.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Oh yeah, the
I
100.
know that one. Yeah.
What is it called?
Hundreds.
Hundreds? Like 100? Or hundreds of hundreds?
The 100.
Isn't that a show?
Huh?
It's about to
I think
be.
that's a show.
No, it
You're about to make it a show.
No, it is a show.
It is a show.
Jessica. Hi.
Hello. Hi. My name's Jessica. My intention for today is to not forget my sequence. So I have notes today, so that'll help me. It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And then my theme has been moving with purpose. So every time you raise your arm, you move your life, do it with purpose. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to start in child's pose. So bring your legs out towards the edges of your mat, if you can. If not, knees together is fine. Bring your chest into the mat and reach your hands forward. Spread. Breathe in through your nose, deep breath. Fill your belly. Exhale. All there. Establish your breath and take some breath in through your nose, out through your nose. Feel your hips sink into the mat. All right, from here, plant your hands. You're going to come up to a tabletop position on all fours, making sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and hips over knees, neutral spine. We're going to inhale, look up for cow. Exhale, tuck your chin in, tailbone in, arch for cat. Inhale, cow again. Exhale, cat. We do 3 more of these. Inhale, cow. Look up. Exhale, cat. Tuck your toes. Inhale, look up. Last one. Exhale into cat pose. From here, come into a neutral spine again. Again, making sure shoulders over elbows, over wrists, and hips over knees. So for the 100th time, we're going to reach out with your right hand to the forward wall. Left foot back heel, as if you're standing on the back wall. Stretch, keep your hips parallel to the ground. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale at your own pace. Exhale. Last one. Exhale, and from here with a little trick, you're going to reach your right hand out to the right wall, left foot to the left wall. Engage your glute. Of course, don't push yourself too hard. Just go as far as you can. All right, we're going to hold for 3 more breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, and last breath here. Should be shaking a little bit. All right, and then bring it back in and inhale. Exhale, come back to neutral spine. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, go ahead and reach your left hand out to the front wall, back right foot to the back wall with your heel pointing and your hips level. Don't let your right hip stack over your left. So we'll hold this one for 3 breaths. Last breath, inhale, exhale, and again, bring your left hand to the left wall, right foot to the right wall. Engage that glute on the right side, your shoulder on the left side. 2 more breaths. All right, bring it back in, come to neutral spine. Let's take a couple breaths here. From here, we're going to come to a seated position, so go ahead and just sit back. All right, and then we'll roll onto our backs. Find your way into your back here. All right, bring your hands behind your neck, support your neck and head here, and bring your knees to 90 degrees. You're just going to do some crunches. So right elbow to left knee, bring it back down. Left elbow to right knee. So go at your own pace. So exhale on the effort. Inhale back.
Exhale up. All right, so go ahead and bring your knees to your chest, squeeze. Rock back and forth a couple times, release the back. All right, roll back up to a seated position. And from here, we're going to do some boats and canoes. So plant your feet on the ground. Place your hands on the backs of your legs for support. Have your spine long. Lift your feet off the ground. Hold if you want to challenge, go ahead and straighten your legs. Okay. And if you'd like a challenge, you can go ahead and lean back into canoes, straighten your legs forward. Lean back into boat. Exhale into a boat. Little pulse as close you want to, or high as you want to. All right, one more. So boat, into canoe, and go ahead and lie down on your back and rest now. And now we're ready for our flow.
Okay.
I don't know how many minutes that was.
It was right at 6.
Okay, so short.
That's okay. Tell me what you did, what you liked about it today.
All right, I didn't forget anything. I wrote it all down. So. I mean, I was referencing my notes the whole time, but I want to forget.
And then something for the future.
So I'm definitely
for tomorrow.
hot. So maybe practice not doing the whole warm up while teaching it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you said that's one of the harder things as you start teaching is to not do the whole class.
Yeah.
Being able to do cues and things without doing it yourself.
Yeah. Just take some practice.
Yeah. Get a little winded.
Yeah. Who hasn't given feed forward? Maybe over there somewhere? Like Misun?
It's funny because she was my partner, so she did everything that she wanted to do while we were practicing. So it definitely was really flowy and your cues were on point. Good job. The feed forward I have, which I wouldn't have noticed when you were next to me, is project a little more.
I know, I think I was just too winded. I was like nervous and getting the workout.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's hard to project when you're kind of shaking here and like working out. So,
yeah. I heard breath with movement cues. I heard alignment cues, some strength cues. I like that the poses were a combination of holding and moving. I agree that a next step could be to stop demoing as much. And I want y'all to keep it simple in the warm-up for that purpose. Like it shouldn't be so complex that you have to show every single thing that you're doing at the start of class. I mean, most people.
and I thought about like not demoing all the tables and cats and cows that we've been doing all day.
Yeah.
Then I just thought it'd be easier instead of like stopping and trying to get into the flow for like the ones that I did want to demo.
My start for you is to, on the crunches, the twist crunches on the back, I think it's a good idea to not just leave them to their own pace at first, like guide them through it, like lift them up, exhale, take a breath in, exhale, everybody twist right. Inhale back to center, everybody twist left. And maybe do that 2 or 3 times because it kind of unifies the group and you to them. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Maybe for like the first however many, but I think for warm-ups, everyone, especially with crunches, I think everyone goes at their own pace. But yeah, for sure, like maybe the first 5 or so.
But also they're looking to you for guidance because you're up there and you're the person who's being paid to teach the class. So teach them, take them through it. Yeah. I mean, so your own pace is okay for a lot of things, but you got to also hold their hand a little bit and guide them.
Right.
But I thought that was great. Who is up next? Is that Raksha?
Yes. Hi, my name is Raksha and I will be doing the warm-up for the hip and the shoulders today. And my intention for today is being love and being present. And my intention for my practice is at the foundation. I was supposed to work on foundation last week.
Okay.
So let's get started with the child pose. It's Balasana. Place your knee on the floor, hip distance apart. Touch your big toes together and sit on your heels. Stretch your arm forward. Exhale, drop your torso down between the thighs. Take a few Ujjayi breath here. Inhale and exhale. Set the intention for your yoga today. Set the intention that you're gonna love no matter what. You're gonna love your body no matter what. Inhale, move your hip up and bring your hand forward. Exhale, lower to the chest floor to melted heart pose. Exhale, back to the child pose. Inhale, back to the melted heart pose. Feel the stretch of the hips, thigh and ankle over here. Exhale, back to the child pose. Feel the stretch on the shoulders and hip over here. Now let's set our feet back, right and the left, to come to the dolphin plank. Elbows down. Bring your body head into one straight line. Align your hips, heels over the toes and shoulders over the elbows. Navel pulling up on the spine. Squeeze the thighs. Inhale, right feet bring towards the right hand. Inhale, settle back. Exhale, bring your left feet towards the left hand. Inhale, settle back. Let's repeat again. Exhale, bring your right foot towards the right foot arm. Inhale, settle back. Again, exhale, bring your left foot forward to touch the left arm. Inhale, settle back. Keep your breath easy, steady and smooth here. Now let's go back to the mat. Belly down. Extend your arm and leg forward for the Superman pose. Inhale, raise your arm, leg, lift your torso up to the fold here. Exhale, release back. Inhale, rise again. Exhale, release back. Let's prepare for the bow pose now. Dhanusasana. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring your hands close to your buttock. Grab the ankle by the hand. Modification can be inside or outside. Inhale, lift your heel away from the buttocks and thigh away from the floor to form a bow pose, Dhanusasana. Feel the pull on your upper torso. Keep your shoulder blade against your back to open the heart center. Gaze forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, go again. Exhale, release. Now come to the child pose, Tadasana. Relax and send love to all part of your body. Send love to all aches and pains. Exhale, get back to the tabletop. Wrist just below the shoulder, knee just below the hips. Exhale, round back, draw navel towards the spine, finger pointing ground away. Head lower, chin towards the chest to form a cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Belly lower, tailbone lift, repeat. Cow, cat, cow. Cat, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Great job. Now let's go back to the both pose, now plasana. Bring your both feet in front. Bring your knees to the tabletop and make sure the thigh is in a 45 to 50 degree angle. Hand can be anywhere in the thigh. If possible, just extend your feet. If not, then just put it like that. Listen to your body. Inhale, go back down. Exhale, come. Inhale, go down. Exhale, come. Inhale. Exhale. Yes, lay down on your back or the bridge pose. Knees can be hip distance apart, parallel, and knees is exactly above the toes. Exhale, pull your hip up towards the ceiling. Inhale, get back. Up again, down, lower down. Up, lower down. Inhale up, exhale, lower down. Now let's come back to a seated position. Place your feet together, heels together, and move your knees for the butterfly pose. Take a few deep exhalation and inhalation, relax, move. Remember your intention for today. Send love to your body, love to all the poses and aches and pains. Bring back heart to the heart center.
What did you like best about it today, Raksha?
I tried to put all together because my first I didn't want to do without notes. I just wanted to see that I include everything so that how it looks like with like writing. So I tried to follow the notes so that I put everything. I don't miss anything.
Mm-hmm. Did you not use notes last time?
No.
You didn't? Okay. And then what's something you want to do for next time?
Yeah, the pose I choose, I was not sure what I was doing. I was like, because I got an email about shoulder and hips, so I had really short time to decide and write. So I put together. So I don't know whether the poses was correct or not. I just chose because first I wasn't laying down. I chose what was there, and then that's how I chose my poses.
What led into the next? You mean?
Yes, yeah.
Cool. Who hasn't done feed forward, feed back?
I think she was just trying to kill me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just messing with you. It's a payback. You know what I'm saying? With the dolphin plank and everything, with the knees all the way up. I was like, dang.
Not any of the Surya like sun salutation. So not even plank. So I include dolphin plank. So I was really. That's why my poses are like that because I was not trying to include any of them.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, I didn't know I gave feet for it. My bad.
Who hasn't gone?
I haven't.
Okay.
I liked that you had a variety of poses that were kind of hitting all the muscles in the body, so you didn't forget the back. Like you did some back bends and chest openers and things like that. Maybe one thing that you could do in the future is kind of think about transitioning from laying on your tummy and then how are you going to get on your sitting position or on your back or into child's pose, just to kind of smooth them out a little bit. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And y'all are already teachers. I mean, y'all are saying the things that I've already written down, so y'all already notice either from your own perspective because you're working on it, or it's just you already know how to give somebody some help going forward. So I like that a lot. Also, I like the difference between everybody. Like Rakshia today, I heard several theme cues. She was more about sensory cues, like feel it here, and whether it's a strength or a stretch. I heard alignment and strength cues, and from you, I heard like breath quality reminders, like keep it smooth and strong breath, not just inhale, exhale. Yeah, there was a lot of variety in the cueing from you as well. A stop for you in the floor bow position, Dhanurasana. When they grab their feet laying on their bellies, and you did a couple of reps. Avoid saying release, and that's a good feedback for all vinyasa flow until you get to the cool down. So when you say release, they disengage completely. Like a couple of them had no idea there was going to be more. So if you say release, then they're done with that pose. They let go of their feet. So maybe tell them, we're going to do a couple of these. So kick into your feet, lift up. Lower down might be the cue. And then exhale, kick up again so that they stay with you better. They stay engaged. And I also agree with Jessica. My start for you was the transition. Start thinking about transition poses between the poses so that it all flows better. So I like the variety of the poses. It could just a little bit more thought of how to get from one to the next.
So was this at the warm-up poses?
Yeah, I thought they were great warm-up poses. Yeah. Just there's always going to be a pose between the pose in the flow class. So whether you quickly name that pose or you just talk about the movement of the pose to get.
This has to end up in my peak pose. Like supposing I was here, but if my peak pose is not like this, I have to end my thing in my peak pose, right? My peak
No.
Pose,
No. Warm up is you're going to warm up the entire system, the entire body.
Sequence.
And then in sequences 1, 2, 3, we'll start opening specific parts and strengthening specific parts that lead to your peak pose. Yeah. Misan up next. Tell us some things, Misan.
Sorry, what was that?
Tell us the things.
Oh, the things. Sure. My name is Misan, and I will be working on not trying to cram all the cues in. And my theme is staying present with your breath. But we're actually going to start in child's pose, which is great because I think I'm the last turn of the day.
Oh, there's one more.
I'm sorry. Okay, yes. Knees mat width apart if you can.
What was your theme again?
Staying present with your breath.
Okay.
Big toes touch. Bring your chest and your forehead down to the mat. Extend your arms forward. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. We're going to stay here for another couple of breaths. Make sure you're staying present with your breath. Feel the inhale, feel the exhales. On your next exhale, you're going to come to tabletop position, making sure your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in a straight line. Hips are above your knees. Tuck your toes. Breathe in and exhale, just raise your knees so they're hovering about 1 inch from the ground. Keep breathing. Feel a little bit of a tremble. Exhale, knees down. Let's do that one more time. So in your next exhale, bring your knees up, hover over, breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Exhale, crouch, tabletop. Inhale, we're going to go into cow. Drop your bellies, chin and gaze up. Exhale to cat. Round your back. Bring your belly button to your spine. Inhale to cow once again. Crown up. Exhale to cat. Round your back and bring it all the way up. And back to tabletop in neutral position. Go ahead and bring your feet back. We're going to go into downward dog just to give our knees a little break. Press back. Walk the dog a little bit. One heel after another heel. Inhale, exhale. Come back to that tabletop once again. Bring your left your left foot forward. Both knees are 90 degrees. If your right knee is hurting a bit, bring a towel or fold your mat over so you have more padding. If not, go ahead and rock forward and backwards, making sure you're not going too far. We're just warming up a little bit here. Make sure you're breathing. And your next exhale, come back to tabletop position. Go into down dog for just a breath. Come back to tabletop, then bring your right leg around. Bring that mat, fold it over, bring the towel if you need it. Then go ahead and go forward and back. Making sure your pelvis is aligned, both hip bones pointing forward. Then go ahead and bring your left foot to meet your right foot. So you're folded over into a forward fold. Bend your knees generously here, making sure your lower back is getting some stretch. Then go ahead and sweep your arms up into chair. Making sure you can see all 10 toes, round into all 4 points. Don't hold your breath. And come back to mountain, hands down. Find your foundation here again. We're gonna go to chair one more time. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale and sink down a little bit as you exhale. Get a little bit deeper this time around. Then you're gonna slide your right foot back into crescent lunge. And then we're gonna open up into goddess. So you're gonna have your feet at an angle. Bring your feet wider, than a little bit wider than you had it, and sink up and down. You can have your hands to heart, or you can have it on your hips, whatever's more comfortable. Then we're gonna turn to the back. So you're gonna pivot and bring your left heel up and into crescent lunge on the right side. Inhale and exhale here. See if you can sink a little bit lower. And open up back to the wall side of the room, pointing your toes outward and sinking once again into goddess. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Or if it's too much, come back up. All right, one more breath here. Then we're gonna go to the front of the mat in crescent lunge. Bring your hands to the mat. Go to high plank. Bring your knees down if you need to, and chaturanga. Upward dog and down dog. That's your warm up.
All right. We have about 44 seconds left. What did you like about teaching today, Misa?
I tried to not do all the poses, and I think I succeeded. I think I do want to work on bringing my theme back a little bit more. I think I did that a little bit in the beginning, but I kind of lost track, so I'm going to keep it incorporated.
Okay. And who has not given feed forward today, feedback? Raksha?
Yeah, it was really a nice flow, and how she manages to look at the student and then break kind of takes like a break as well, and you're doing whenever the next course started. So it was really nice, and you're giving all the clues about the towel, like it's a modification for easier, and so I was very closer, so that was really nice. Before we were I just saw one apologizing, sorry, that was the only thing I noticed. And other than that, she said not to use sun salutation steps. You use the sun chaturanga and down planks.
It was near the end too, so. I think you set out and you did your intention. It didn't seem crammed in with cues. My note was that the pace felt nice and easy and not too fast. And I heard that initial theme cue. I heard alignment cues. I think I heard some strength cues. I have a stop, which is a filler. Go ahead and. My start. And I noticed you starting to not demo, but then you went back to demo. And I wonder, did you forget where you were going? That's when you started demoing? Like what triggers you to demo again is what I want you to watch for. And at one point you looked at your notes, which were sitting in the corner of the mat, so you had to change your position. So my start for you is I use little index cards for myself, just palm-size index cards, and I carry them with me the entire class in case I do forget where I am. I have it there in my hand, and I don't have to backtrack to the teaching mat or across the room for it on a book. It's just like once my whole warm-up is on one card, and my first sequence is on one card, and I just flip through the cards as I go through class. So
it's great because I think I started when I was going to do the whole go to the back of the room, and then because it was here and I wanted to demo it facing the same way they were facing, so that definitely did hinder me from thank you. Yeah, index cards.
Still to this day, 8 years of cards I've built up.
So is it easy to just I want to do this?
Yep, if I feel like not making up a new sequence, just find one from 8 years ago.
There you go.
Make it easy on yourself some days. Okay. So you've kind of seen the process, how it goes so far. So name, intention. You can just make up your own intention for today based on what you've seen. And then if you've picked a theme, let us know what it is.
Okay. Hi, my name is McKay. My theme today is to thank your body. Be thankful for what your body can do for you, especially in your practice today. And my intention is to have it go smoothly, have transitions into the different poses make sense. So we're going to start today in child's pose. So you're going to have your toes touching. Bring your knees to the edge of your mat. Sink back your hips into your heels. Bring your arms forward toward the front of the room and try and rest your head and your nose on the ground. You're going to want to breathe in deep here. Have it fill your belly. And when you exhale out of your mouth, and I want to hear it. Have it be really loud. So inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, breathe in deep like you did before. Have it fill in your belly. On your exhale, dive a little bit deeper. Feel it in your shoulders. Feel it in your hands. Spread your fingers out. And make sure that your hands are planted firmly on the mat. One more breath here. Inhale deeply. Exhale audibly. On your next inhale, come up to tabletop. You're going to place your hands firmly on the mat. Your shoulders should be stacked over your wrists. Your feet planted. The tops of your feet should be on the mat. And plant your knees underneath your hips. Have your back be flattened here. And we're going to go into some cat-cows. We're going to start with cat. You're going to exhale and round your back up toward the ceiling. Tuck your chin in and give a good stretch to your upward shoulders. On the inhale, you're going to lower your belly. Lift your head up toward the ceiling. Gaze up at the ceiling. Inhale, we're going back to cat. Tuck your navel to your spine. Exhale, drop your belly again. Give a good stretch to your lower back. One more time. Inhale, down the back. Exhale, lower your belly. At this point, we are going to step your right leg back and bring your left, tuck your hips, and go into downward dog. Now you're going to pedal your feet out here. Make sure that you get a good movement in your calves. Stretch all those muscles out there. You're going to want your fingers to be planted firmly. Stretch them out and make sure that you have a good line from your fingers to your hips. And keep stretching those calf muscles out by pedaling back and forth with your legs. Your feet should be hip width distance apart. Breathe in here. Breathe out through your nose. One more breath as you find stillness in your downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to three-legged dog. I want you to push your foot back like you're pressing against the back of the wall here. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, I want you to prep for where we're going to curve in. So exhale, bring your knee into your head here, like you're going to kiss it. And then bring it back out again on the exhale. One more time, bring it in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, bring it back out. On your next exhale, you're going to bring it in one more time, but plant it firmly in between your hands here. We are now in the lunge, and I want you to loosen up your legs here. So kind of pull forward a little bit, move to the back, just kind of find a little bit of movement in here to stretch your legs out. And if this is hard or if this is a little too much, feel free to lower your knee, but still keep the movement going. So we're going to do 2 breaths here. Breathe in and exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to lift that knee if you have lowered it, and take your right foot and bring it back again to this three-legged dog. And as you're here, kind of move your ankle around. Give it some movement. If you need to move your hip around, just move the one leg in circles. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back down to downward dog. On your next, we're going to lift up the left leg now and go into that side. So lift it up into three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring it forward and kiss your knee. Inhale, back out again, three-legged dog. Make sure to press your foot into the back wall. Bring it in again on the exhale, kiss your knee. Inhale, back wall. One more time. Inhale, exhale, kiss your knee. Inhale, back wall. This time on your inhale, we're going to bring it in, bring it in and plant it firmly in between your hands. And so we're going to move around in this lunge as well. Feel free to lower your knee if you did that on the other side. We want to make sure that everything is symmetrical. Inhale here. Full exhale. All right, on your inhale, bring it back into three-legged dog. Move your ankle around a little bit. If you moved your leg in circles before, no rest.
How did you feel first time teaching?
Good. That went faster than I thought.
Yeah.
So sorry for the really long downward dog. That was really long.
Yeah, time stands still when you're teaching. I don't think to look at my watch a lot of the time. What's something, so it went by fast. Was that a good thing for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I thought I wouldn't be able to feel it very well.
Okay. And then what's something that you want to do for next time to improve?
I definitely want to be aware of adding more warm-up in. I didn't get to very many poses, so it was very drawn out.
Okay. What did somebody who was practicing it, did you feel like it warmed you up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
We're all just tired.
Yeah.
Last
for
one of the
sure.
day.
Tammy, did you do feet forward?
No. So I love your voice is so mellow and so yoga.
Agreed.
And so it was really relaxing. I did like that you were explaining what you were doing as far as the cueing is concerned. And then I guess the feed forward would be like the inverse of that. It was more like you've been mentioned, you kept us in poses or in that position for a while, so that was the only thing I guess going on. And I mean, and you did really good this being your first time, because our first time was last weekend. And so I think you did a great job.
Yeah, this was good for me too, because as y'all know, I don't usually let people skip weekend one at all, because I feel like they miss out on the bonding experience of weekend one, which makes me feel sad. But now I know, and maybe it's just McKay, I'm not sure. But it can be done, because I think you accomplished lots of things, have not been here last weekend. So that's good for me, not to just try to control every single thing.
Wait, you're doing the training with us?
Mm-hmm.
You're not making the powers?
No, I'm not.
She's brand new and she missed the first weekend. But I knew where to find her because she's a summit staff. So, but I heard foundation cues, like you did a lot of hand talk. I heard breath with movement. I even heard you threw a modification cue in there, an alignment cue. So I'm just thrilled that, and maybe it helped that you went last because you got the benefit of hearing everybody else and all my feedbacks, and maybe we're taking notes there, so that was good. I heard a few filler phrases. Can't remember at the moment because I wrote filler phrases and then I was looking at something else and I didn't write down what it was. But the good news is I recorded the whole thing, 2 hours and 7 minutes of practicum. I'm sorry, Jeannie. I thought I was recording at your turn at the very start and it wasn't recording. Okay.